Hey, this is Matthew with BI Polar. In this video on being a PM at Microsoft, I'm going to talk about one of the core mindsets and core set of behaviors that will set you up for success, and that is ownership. I hope you'll join me. Welcome back. If you're new to the series, make sure you check out the introductory video that kicks the series off. Essentially, I've been a PM at Microsoft for over 15 years, and in this series, I'm sharing the advice that I wish that someone had given me 15 years ago. Basically, since I can't speak to my past self, I'm speaking to you today to help you avoid some of the mistakes that I made and learn from the lessons that I've learned to get your career at Microsoft off to a better start or to accelerate it from where it is today. And if you're not at Microsoft or you're not a PM, basically this video is targeting both mainly PMs at Microsoft today, but also people in similar roles or at similar companies, or people for whom being a PM at Microsoft is part of their career goals. If this sounds like you, please do stay with me. This video is about ownership, and ownership in my mind is both a mindset and a superpower. In past videos, we've talked about the importance of helping others. So looking for the opportunities where you can spend a little bit of time to deliver a lot of value, where you can help them to overcome problems, to help them maybe see things that they can't see on their own. In this video, I'm kind of focusing on you. At some point as a PM, you are going to own something. It might be a feature, it might be a product, it might be a program, it might be a customer relationship. But when you own something, this is when you really need to deliver. And this is when you need to do whatever you need to do to deliver on your promises or to deliver on the expectations of your team and of your leadership. And for the past couple of years, I have been a people manager. So I've been leading a growing team. And for the past year, I've actually been an M2 or a manager of managers as my team has grown. This has meant for me that I've really needed to take some of the things that I had been doing internally without really thinking about it too clearly, and both think about it more clearly and to put things in writing so that I can share with the broader team that I lead as that team grows. And the first thing that I want to share with you today is essentially how my team defines ownership, or perhaps more specifically, how I define ownership for my team is I work to build a team culture and a way of working where we can all thrive and grow together, where each one of us can play to our own strengths and experiences, but also speak the same language and have shared expectations all around. So for me and on my team, ownership means having the ultimate responsibility for delivering the agreed upon high quality outcomes in the agreed upon time frame. So it's not about doing the work yourself or doing all of the work yourself, but it means that both for the work that you deliver and for the work that you need others to deliver, you are ultimately responsible for getting the job done as promised and as documented to solve the problem that you've been given to solve or deliver the thing that you've been given responsibility for delivering. And in my team, we go a little bit deeper than that. So like this is kind of the high level, as the owner, you are ultimately responsible for delivering those high quality outcomes. But we also have ways of working that in my experience are contributing factors. Like these are the things that will set you up for success as you take on responsibility that may be just a little bit outside of your comfort zone. So as an owner on my team, you are expected to engage proactively with peers, with colleagues, with your manager, with other stakeholders, so that you can understand and build a clear understanding of the goals and the success criteria that you're working to achieve. so that you can learn from others about existing efforts, existing responsibilities, existing systems that might overlap or conflict with or be built upon by the thing that you own. As an owner, you should make connections. You should encourage participation. You should work to remove blockers. Basically, any place where you are relying on someone else to contribute to the thing that you own, you're the enabler, right? You remove the roadblocks. You help them through your work and through the information that you share. But in addition to these things, the other proactive things that we do on my team is we ask for help early. If we need technical or non-technical assistance, as soon as we're aware that we need something, we ask for it. So could be talking to your manager, could be talking to peers, but we never wait to ask for help. And similarly, an owner never waits to ask questions. If there's something that you become aware that you need to know that you don't know today, you ask for it today or tomorrow. You don't sit on it for a couple weeks trying to figure it out yourself. Instead, you look for the people that have that knowledge using the connections that you have. And this proactive engagement with peers, colleagues, managers, and others, the goal of this is that you are working proactively to eliminate ambiguity and to build and maintain a shared understanding of goals and efforts. You know what you're doing. When you work to make sure everybody else knows what you're doing as well, this strengthens and reinforces your understanding, and it also helps you set and maintain clear expectations so that nobody's going to be surprised to learn, like in the 11th hour when you're getting ready to deliver, it's like, oh, like I didn't know you were working on that. I built that thing last year. This proactive communication is essentially a way to ensure that instead of other people in their work being the unseen roadblocks or speed bumps that lie on the road ahead, instead they can become the fuel that will empower and accelerate your work. So that was a lot. That's how I define ownership on my team. The second thing that you need to think about is, like, what does ownership mean on your team? And I ask this because nowhere in my 15 years at Microsoft have I seen a clear written definition of ownership from any of the leaders or any of the managers that I've worked with. I've basically needed to read between the lines to look for the things that they're doing and the things that they're not saying to understand what's important for the managers that I've worked for or the leaders that have defined my goals and enabled my career. But like, if reading between the lines is as difficult for you as it is for me, ask. Work with your manager, work with your leader to understand, like what are the things that I'm responsible for? When you say this, does it mean this? Does it mean this? Or does it mean something else? If you ask these questions early and proactively, it might cost you 30 minutes or an hour or a few hours at the beginning, but it could save you days or months moving forward, simply avoiding investing in the wrong things or avoiding rework as necessary. The final thing, the third thing that I want to share is that ownership never means doing all the work yourself. Being a PM at Microsoft, one of the core skills is the ability to influence without authority. And we'll probably do a video specifically on this later on. But basically, most PMs aren't people managers. Most PMs don't have the ability to say, no, this thing that's important for me, it's important for you now. You need to go do this thing. Like, everybody has their own priorities. Everybody has their own things that they own, but you still very often, like day after day and project or feature after feature, like you need other people to prioritize some of your things to deliver the prerequisites or the components with which your thing will interact. And if you're thinking about ownership, if the thing that you're thinking is, these are all of the things that I need to personally do, you're missing the point. Driving impact, this seems like a theme in these videos, doesn't it? Driving impact is absolutely about the the business value that you deliver through your own personal efforts, but it's also about building on the work of others and empowering others through your work. And this is really where the rubber hits the road, or where the money comes from. Like, I'm not sure exactly where I'm going with this, but here's the deal. Ownership is really the heart or the fuel of your career growth. The things that you deliver and the way that you deliver them, this is what people remember. There's going to be someone who is on another team or in another org where the thing that you own intersects or overlaps with their team and their responsibilities and their ownership. And if you're working in this healthy, constructive, proactive, collaborative way, people notice. People notice, and they're going to be talking to your manager, even if they're not talking to you directly. But when they see you working in this way, they will recognize you as a leader, as a collaborator, as a helper. And when you're reaching out for those conversations about your next role or your next team, this is where your reputation will have come from. When you reach out to say, hey, could we get 30 minutes for coffee to talk about that job opening that you have, this is the thing that will make them say yes and to be excited that it's you that's reaching out as opposed to someone else. We've covered a lot in this video. We'll probably come back to ownership again later on, but you let me know where we should go. I've got a lot of ideas, like 15 years. Feel like I have a lot to share, but please like, subscribe, jump into the comments. Let me know, have you done similar things? Like, how does your team define ownership? How do you learn what your manager, what your leaders need from you as an owner of a thing? Let me know like how your experience complements what I'm sharing here. And either way, I hope to see you next time.